So, welcome everyone to this Sagittarius new moon celebration. So, yes, today is December 16th. The moon doesn't happen till the 19th, but you know the drill. We do this early because this one we need to prepare. Actually, we've been preparing for a year, but we might want to tidy things up a bit. Let's call in sacred space. Let's all take a big deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're dropping the grounding cords down, sending our roots down into the earth. And then inhaling, drawing that earth energy up through our bodies, sending it up and out through the top of the head, connecting with the heart of the divine above us. Inhaling, drawing that cosmic energy down through our bodies, sending it all the way down into the earth, activating the as above, so below flow. And then connecting with that flow, breathing in, breathing out, activate the as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. Moving to the north, we welcome Mother Earth. We give such great thanks to be here on this beautiful planet, doing this sacred work right now. Being the boots on the ground. Moving to the south, we welcome water. We welcome clear, clean, current emotion. We welcome love, joy, flow, and abundance. Moving to the west, we welcome air, mind, focus, clarity, all of our guides, angels, allies, and helpers in the invisible realm. And moving to the east, we welcome fire and movement and passion, divine right action. Moving to the center, we welcome our divine feminine and our divine masculine in sacred right relationship. We call that beautiful energy down through our bodies. We call up Mama Gaia to pull and magnetize that energy through us. And we welcome our own sweet, extraordinary souls into the circle. We ask that all of these energies be with us, pray with us, dance with us for our mutual benefit. I just pulled this up. Here we go. sounds like we have a lot of wild horses in here today. A couple of you have birthdays this weekend. One of you has a birthday today. And happy birthday, Hunter. That's exciting, I think. I guess when you get to be our age, every birthday is exciting. So take a minute, everyone, and breathe. Just close your eyes. I know we just opened circle, and so supposedly you're grounded, but we're going to do that again. And just drop your cords down. And how do you feel in your body? Notice. And anything's okay at this point. So we've been through a big shift for the past year. And birthday cakes. And that year has been in preparation for what's coming. Now, today, my hair's really doing weird things today. This could feel very exciting and happy. And yes, those are all the things we want to amplify going into this time. But we want to do it with wisdom. So let's just dive in. We don't want to get so caught up. Don't want to. Well, I'm sitting here looking at it, Carolyn, and I look like Dennis the Menace. Okay. We don't want to get caught up in the exuberance and make decisions that we regret. So all of you have seen this. You know, nothing, not a whole lot has changed in 2 weeks, right? Uranus is still in Taurus. And it's going to be retrograde until February 3rd. Chiron is retrograde through the first of the year. Neptune turned direct on Wednesday, but it's still in Pisces, and it's going to stay there till the end of January, towards the end. I think it's the 26th or something like that. So, and when it moves, that's when we jump on the horse, okay? But until then, we need to spend this time and really milking Neptune and Pisces for all it's worth. And cleaning house, basically, letting that big water just pour through us and clear. The grand trine with Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto is going to continue until September of 29. So they're holding a space for humanity, basically, and the planet. And they're not the only ones. So we're going to learn about that today, too. So new moon happens on the 19th at 7:43 Central Time, p.m. So in the evening, it's all, of course, it's all about new beginnings in this sign. And this sign, expansion and good luck, right? It's the biggest sign. It's the sign most associated with good fortune and good luck. So any kind of rituals, any kind of intention setting, ceremony that you do is just going to be enhanced by Sagittarius and by that okay energy, like Jupiter. So any kind of education, all of you, I have a lot of students in we call them elks, because on the medicine wheel, they are the Sagittarians, and they love to study, love to learn, and love to explore, foreign travel, all of that. If you can't travel physically, then travel, technologically, deeper understanding. So a lot of big spiritual emphasis, philosophy, and just quests, adventures. So, and Sagittarius is all about, you saw Hunter. We watched you dance, Hunter, and it's like celebration, euphoria, enthusiasm. Those are all characteristics of her and Sagittarius. Aren't you a double Sag? You can just nod. I thought so. So now, the one thing about Sagittarius that you got to be careful of is that, and I have a tape flavor of this, it can always believe that it has the one true way, even if it doesn't. And so don't get stuck in that, because with this moon, and you're going to see why here in just a minute, anything that can happen to a Sagittarian can happen to all of us. And for the Sagittarians, it's going to be even louder. So just know that going in. So we proceed, but we proceed with, I don't want to even say caution, we proceed with wisdom. So here's the map of what we're looking at. So look down here. We're going to talk about this right now. This is called a grand stellium. So it's 5 planets, and these are pretty much on top of each other. 5 planets real close together. And then it also is influenced, by this trine with Uranus and Neptune. And, there's a little bit of Saturn thrown in, and Ceres. So this is a big deal. So the sun and the moon are hanging out with Venus, Mars, and Juno. Oh, dang. Thanks for that. Let me see. Let me see here if I can fix that for you. Well, I shared the screen. You should be seeing. Okay. Okay. Everyone else is seeing the screen. All right. So is everyone seeing the screen? Just help me. Okay. All right. So Sarah, you need to go into view, wherever that is, and someone might help her in the chat, and change it to, get it out of speaker view, change it to gallery, and you should be able to see the screen then. Okay. So, and I'm going to quit checking the chat, y'all. Okay, cool. All right. So that I can talk. You all talk amongst yourselves. Excuse me. So the sun and the moon, which is always happens at a new moon, they're both in the same sign. They're both hanging out side by side together. They're hanging out with Venus. So she's right here. Get my pointer. Oops. Don't want to do that yet. Okay. Here's Venus. And look over here. Here's Mars. So for those of you that don't know, Venus and Mars represent the masculine and feminine. So hence relationship opportunities, right? And we have the sun and the moon. And then we have Juno thrown in, which is also all about relationships. So everything, a lot of this good juju energy is focused on your relationships, and it could be any of them. It could be intimate relationships, family relationships, work relationships, inner relationships, you and your inner children. So all of that is a big focus this time. And then Venus, because she's so close to, I mean, she's only 2 degrees away from the sun, and the moon. So she has 2 more big things that are pertinent for us. The first one's creativity. So with these outer planets, plus all of the inner planets, this could turn into a very creative, juicy time for you. And on the upside, Uranus, like I've said in the past, you tell Uranus you want happy surprises, you want good surprises. You can even tell him what kind of surprises you want. But I found myself saying this all month, especially the past 2 weeks, to women. It is time for you to consciously guard and direct your energy field on all levels. And we think that goes without saying, but we don't do it very much. Even with intention setting, we don't do it very much. So now that you know what this energy is holding for you, if there are projects that you've been putting off, if there are financial opportunities that you want to draw into yourself, now's the time. And be direct with the planets, be direct with your intentions, be very clear about how you want things to shake out. It is time for women everywhere to start doing this. This is what we came for. When I said boots on the ground, I was not playing. This is how the shifts that we've all been dreaming about take place in our own life, and then out in the world and for the planet. So be wise. Don't just go willy-nilly. Don't make big financial commitments or investments unless you sit with it and get really good guidance, because they could show up. That's why I'm saying this. Okay. Come on. Now let's talk about Mars. Once again, he's the Kickstarter. Let's go back. He's in Capricorn. Let me show you. So see down here, there he is right there. He's the only one. Everyone else is in Sagittarius. So look what that does for all of my priestesses in here. He's an earth sign, the biggest earth sign, the most energy of earth. He creates the fire ring. He creates the container for all of this fire to flow into. Fire without a container burns down the forest. So we couldn't have asked for anything better as far as this lineup. It's like if we use his energy and Capricorn is all about planning for the future, planning for the next 7 generations, laying down the law of how we want things to happen going forward, personally, locally, planetarily, all of it. And we have the energy to do it right here. All of this is big fire. So you can see that this was not by accident. Uranus is still in Taurus for a reason This is supposed to happen in the physical, on the planet. It's not supposed to be a dream anymore. We're supposed to make it happen. And he's the warrior. He's your courage to step forward and do the thing. And then Ceres, Saturn, and Neptune. That, we had Neptune square the moon, actually, and all of them are supporting manifestation. Neptune is all about imagination, and it's in its own ruling sign. So it is just like swimming in the dream time right now. Saturn is going to help you ground things into the physical. And the goddess Ceres, she just keeps hanging out with all of them. And she's the grain goddess. She's all about abundance. Saturn and Neptune can also support embodied awakening. If you have been up against things that you keep trying to fix, I'm going to do that this time. Oh, Lordy, y'all. Those are the things we need to be working on for the next. We have about a month before the fire horse is here. And you're going to get to see what that feels like. So the reason I say that is let your body lead, not your head. I've been saying this since 2023. We have to drop into our hearts. That's the beginning point. Your body is your greatest ally and your greatest asset. Use it. If you want more information about this, a new round of Sacred Rhythms starts in January. But that is where you get the information on how to treat your body so that she treats you well, and how to talk to her. So when you do that, every aspect of your life gets unimaginably better. Okay. So then we have Chiron, and it trines the moon. So Chiron's all about service to others and giving wisdom to others. This is a soft aspect of Chiron. She's not really loud, but she can push up more drama to heal. So just notice that. And then there's a quincunx with Uranus, which is almost exact. And we're going to go deeper into what all this means as we look at what's coming next year. So you want to really get clear on who you are and what you came here to do and be. And lay that down. And you don't have to have the whole map. You probably won't get the whole map, but you need to at least have the steps. You need to just take a step toward it, a concrete step, which might mean just writing it down. Because those are the things that are going to direct this energy. That is your fire ring, okay? Because here's why. This is why you're dancing. The biggest amplifier of all, the sun and moon are both conjunct the galactic center right now. Look, somebody wrote, and now it's showing up. It's pointing right there to the galactic center. So remember, we've been going back to our launch pad intention. You want to keep doing that. You want to go back to it again, but now you have more clarity. Now you can really make sure this is supported. And I'm going to show you why, because we're going to, like I said, this is going to feel like it'll feel exciting. It'll feel jubilant. Sagittarius always does. And it's also going to feel like a tiny little taste, excuse me, taste of 2026. So here's what's coming, just a little, and this is just a little snippet. But the overriding thing is fast, fast, fast. Now, you would think I'd be excited about that, but that makes me go, and so I'm just going to reteach this. The overriding energy is dynamic, forward moving, passionate, and brilliant, just like fire itself. The energy of the fire horse is enhanced by Saturn, both Saturn and Neptune. Remember, I told you, they're all moving into fire signs, Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter. Saturn and Neptune move in January into Aries. Jupiter, I know that Neptune does. Don't quote me on Saturn, but it's coming. It's pretty close. And then Jupiter moves into Leo about halfway through the year. So lots of fire, lots of movement. And most of you are probably well aware, if you do the numerology on 2025, it's a 9-year. So we've just completed a 9-year cycle, and we're moving into a universal 1 year. So if you do the numerology on 2026, it's a 1. Initiating a new cycle of 9 years. So if you've been feeling agitated, like your life doesn't fit you anymore, like this is why, because yes, you're right. We're done with that. That's what we've been doing in 2025. And the reason it felt so difficult was because we were probably holding on to everything like this. It's like we have to finish clearing the decks and begin new projects, make sweeping changes, strike out on bold new ventures while being wise and considering the outcomes. You know, that sounds exciting for me until it's like, whoa, you have to hold the reins of this fire horse well. The power of your will and intention will be important for forward momentum that you maintain, and how much you've done, how much work you've already done. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So Saturn, and when Saturn and Neptune go into Aries this time, they're there for a long time. Saturn will be there for 30 years at least. Neptune is like 100. It has a big long cycle, 160 some odd years, I believe. This brings added fire energy to this fire element year, which is all about forward movement and rising to new challenges. So you really want to, I noticed in the chat that Heather said something about a template gathering. And for those of you that don't know what that is, that's light infusion. You're going to get one today. But when you set intentions, you really want to include the planet and include the governments and focus. It's like, it doesn't have to be a catastrophe. We get catastrophes because we're not paying attention. But you can focus on gentle, easy change and transition and pray it forward. It's like, that's our job here right now. It's like we're supposed to anchor stability as we move through this change. Now, some things are going to have to be torn down, and we're watching them already. So do your due diligence in your personal life and in your familial life, in all of the practical things and the spiritual things. And don't be afraid to stand up for what you believe in. That's what this moon is calling you to do. So, and it's preparing you for this. It starts February 17th, the Chinese New Year of the fire horse. So once again, excuse me, the horse, just the horse itself, and horse energy is big heart energy, and it brings those qualities. Your heart isn't a little weak organ. It keeps you alive your whole life. And it has the qualities, just like the horse, of strength, perseverance, freedom, dynamism, indomitable spirit. So you want to think about the things you hold most dear about your world right now. What are the things that you would die for? What is that passionate part of you? And then it's going to combine, because that's your heart energy, that's your horse energy. It's going to combine with the energies of the fire element. So this year, to take the reins with discipline and authority. This is the year to take the reins. This is why I've been hammering Enchanted Year. That is a planner class where you don't just leave your fate up to, well, I got to make dinner first. You sit down and make a plan, and you stick to that plan. The qualities of the fire horse: strength and speed, determination and endurance, passion and brilliance, magnificence and nobility, leadership and innovation. So all of those sound delightful, sound awesome, but this energy needs to be carefully harnessed and controlled. It's kind of like, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the shaman Crazy Horse. He was a real dude. He used to ride into the battle backwards because he knew Great Spirit would protect him. And that worked until it didn't. And somebody took him out. So this is a wild horse energy. And just like it says here, it can work powerfully in your favor, and it did for him for a long time, or it can backfire into chaos when not properly managed. So it's one slip of that ego that can cause the house of cards to fall down. So it's not just practical matters. It's your inner spirit, your inner devotion to divine source, however that looks for you. The more you take time to prepare and get clear on your vision while you're here, the more stable you're going to be as we learn to ride the wild incoming firecracker energy. This is not a year to improvise. It's a year to be structurally ready. Let that one land. So this is from a teacher that I've been learning from, Kimberly Beskett. But I feel like it sums up the essence of the year that's coming and this new moon. Because we can choose our old self, the one that we've been working on and with for 9 years, for the past 9 years, or we can choose to step into the new self. And in order to do that, there may still be some things that need to be taken care of. So I love how she describes this, so I wanted to share it with you. 2025 was the year of the snake. Years are about shedding, stripping, clarifying, removing what was never meant to continue forward. Snake energy is strategic. It eliminates what's outdated. It reveals what no longer fits. It clears away. And I know all of us have had experiences like that this past year, and are feeling like we're finally right. The phoenix is beginning to move under the ashes. What comes next is that phoenix. It's different. In 2026, it's the fire horse energy. Horse energy is about movement, speed, vitality, and forward momentum. Fire amplifies everything it touches. Together, fire horse energy doesn't create intensity. It reveals how prepared you are to carry it. And I want you to hear that. I'm going to say it again. So this fire horse energy, the energy of the horse and the energy of fire together don't create intensity. They reveal how prepared you are to carry it. Fire horse energy accelerates truth. What's aligned gains momentum. What's unstable gets exposed. What's been held together by force, fantasy, or avoidance can't maintain speed. And this isn't about fear. It's about coherence. This is every teacher, and I've been learning under a lot of teachers of late. Every teacher I go to says, figure out why you're here. What is the one thing you came to give the world that no one else can give? Get coherent with that. Astrologically, this moment is supported by Saturn's work over the past cycle, demanding structure, discipline, and integrity, while Mars applies pressure toward decisive action. Fire, and we've said this, fire without structure burns the containment. So if you aren't ready, if this hits you and you're not ready for it, won't matter how big your fire ring is, it'll jump it. Fire with structure transforms. And that's the threshold we're standing at right now. So if we've used the year of the snake well, if you've built inner architecture, that's where I was talking about knowing the difference between your ego mind and your heart mind, your wisdom. If we ever wondered why Source Light School appeared in 2023, we would not have been ready for this if we hadn't learned the direction to our heart. But all of you, you've been hanging out in here. You've been beginning to build that inner architecture. If you've applied discipline to your mind, your nervous system, your focus, if you've stopped pretending you are smaller than you are, if you've shed distortion instead of decorating it, the fire horse becomes propulsion. Momentum feels clean. Opportunities arrive aligned. Movement feels inevitable rather than forced. Your trajectory sharpens. What you touch multiplies. If you haven't done that work yet, or if you feel like you're still in the middle of it, and none of us are going to be perfect, If discipline was postponed, if structure was avoided, if clarity was delayed, if power was minimized or deferred, the fire horse still runs. But now it will feel chaotic, fast without direction, revealing without containment, exposing rather than amplifying, not as punishment, as a consequence. This is simply how the field operates. So that gives you the down and dirty. This is what we're moving into. And yes, it's exciting. And yes, we should do everything we in our personal power to prepare. So whoever's saying they're scared, you stop that right now. You don't have time to be scared. All you have time for is to get ready. And if you go to fear, it'll run over you. So that's the part. It's like when we saw Hunter, I'm so glad I left you. We saw Hunter dancing through the whole opening of the class. That's the energy you want to hold on to. And we have time. You know, it's as simple as doing a little ritual and just, you know, getting in front of your altar and setting an intention. That's why we're here. Release what doesn't serve you. Release, show me the belief systems that don't serve, and be willing to let go of those. And be willing to be present in your own life. If we haven't been doing our Saturn stuff, we've still got time to do it. And with the universe, it just takes a step. It doesn't, it's not like, oh my God, I got to clean out all the closets. And no, just start. And setting up tiny little rituals for, and we learn those rituals in sacred rhythms. You know, it's like I went out looking for information and I've been teaching it for 30 years. The tiny, so lemon water in the morning, every morning for the rest of your life will take care of your liver. Things like that. Noticing those places where Carolyn, yes, there is a lot to be learned, but we can go in prepared. Thank you. Yeah, hold smooth and fast for sure. For sure. Okay, so this is truly a time to get serious moment. Serious about your health, your financial and fiscal health, your work in the world, and the next version of yourself. But you don't have to have it all polished up and done. You just have to grab the reins of your horse and turn it in the direction you want to go. And that is tiny little baby steps. So we're going to journal a little bit. We have the rest of December and on into all through January to put the structures in place that we've been meaning to get to. But here's some questions that you might want to just sit with. You can write them down in your journal and journal as much as you can. I'll give us some time. Who am I ready? Who am I already becoming? All of you have felt this shift. And don't think for 1 minute, you know, even if you're saying, none of us have done all our Saturn work. I have closets that still need my attention. There's tons of things. None of us. But we have all been being supported by the blue light that's hitting the planet. 3i Atlas. 3i Atlas is going to be closest on this new moon, closest to the planet. bringing tons of benevolent energies to the planet. So we have been in the cauldron, whether we were addressing it or not. Go ahead, Heather.
Oh, I just wanted to share about Three Eye Atlas this morning. I don't know if you guys watched Stefan Burns or anything like that, but Three Eye Atlas has changed colors again, and it's gone from like red to the different colors of the chakras. Like it's gold now. So kind of cool.
Very cool. Very cool. So get your journals out. What wants to be birthed through me now? What is a bigger, more expanded me? What is my new sense of self? All of these things are here, whether you have felt them or not. So write these down and ask yourself these questions. What am I stepping into? What is my expanded sense of identity and consciousness? What new episode is wanting to be birthed? What needs to be closed down for the new to come in? So I'm going to give you all some time. I'm going to take some time myself. Keep sitting, Cynthia. Sorry, me too, and sane. But you're in the right spot. So we're going to do here's some more questions. We're going to do a light infusion. And I know Casey's on here, but we have an appointment after this is over, so I'm going to be really conscious of time. So go ahead and write down the questions here as well. What are the desired outcomes you would most want to synchronize with for yourself, your family, and the planet? What's up for healing, and what do you need to release or anchor in? And then I'm going to go ahead and do the light infusion. And you can write your intentions while I'm doing it. And then if you want to come back and listen to it again, you can. It remains just as potent for those who watch it on the recording, maybe even more so. Oops, somebody's unmuted. Hang on here. Yes, okay, took care of that. All right. I took all my stuff with me, so I'm getting it all back out again. Went to the, I'll do this. Okay. All right. So for those of you that are not writing and want to sit in the meditation, you can put your hand on your heart if you like. And we just want to take a few minutes and drop into our heart. Drop our conscious awareness down into that beautiful heart space, the container of your soul, the source light, the piece of heaven you brought with you to the planet, the big love that lives inside of you. So take a few moments to just find that. Let yourself feel the love the love fest that is happening between your soul, your spirit, and your physical body. It happens with every beat of your heart. I acknowledge and connect you to your source light center point. And I ask that you shine that source light through your golden spiral and activate your source light energy field. I infuse the frequencies of safety, contentment, and harmony in your source light energy field. I activate within your Merkaba the harmony of the original sacred geometries of this planet, and I activate all the source light symbols and the 60 light frequencies. I infuse into your source light point, your golden spiral, and your source light energy field this light infusion treatment. I activate these geometries, outcomes, and frequencies within your source light energy field and shine these energies out into your world to bless everyone, everything, and every situation you meet. I ask that we all connect individually to our personal source light points and our source light energy fields, and that we connect our fields to and through the source light energy field of Gaia. And now engage your source light point, your source light, and your source light energy field to activate opportunities for growth, healing, restoration, and creation. I anchor in 5 air synchronizing source light symbols at your 3 source light energy centers at your head, at your heart, and at your low belly. To hold and support the following desired outcomes and frequencies. Maintain connection to our own personal source light, our soul. Restoration of balance to our material world in all aspects. A new era of peace and restoration on the planet for all beings, on planet Earth for all beings. That we all receive the new light coming in a way that serves us and those we love. Open-hearted joy for all beings. And your desired outcomes or intentions. We want to do that with the frequencies of support, play, autonomy, receptivity, enjoyment, insight, and completion. I declare these outcomes to be so and infuse and integrate completion into your source light point, your golden spiral, and your source light energy field. As these energies are activated and engaged, I close this infusion in the light. So if you feel like moving your body and activating this, taking it in a little deeper, I'm going to play some music and we can all get up and move a little bit. Maybe. Yeah. Here we go. I hit the wrong button. All right, everyone. Well, you got your Martian orders. If you need anything, you all know where I am. All right. I give thanks to the elemental forces for holding space for us today. I give thanks for these beautiful souls that are so dedicated to doing their sacred work on the planet. And I close the circle in the light. All right, lovelies. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let me just stop the share and y'all can look at each other. All right. I will see you all very soon. 2 weeks, if not before.